Hello students. In this presentation I will discuss structures in C. It is part of section D of your syllabus and we have already covered strings of section D in your syllabus. While studying and understanding structures chapter, firstly you should visit the syllabus, your Punjab University's syllabus, read the topic names, then start understanding my presentation and video topic wise, then read the topics from the book again, do all the practical programs. I will assign you prepare all the practical programs, prepare the practical assignment according to your book programs, and I will issue you one written assignment for this also, theory assignment, which you can submit according to the deadline mentioned in future assignments. So, first topic is what is structure in C. You are already familiar with arrays. I will start discussing the brief introduction to array again and then I will switch to structure. As we all know, array you store the data of similar data type, means homogeneous data type you can store at continuous memory locations. Similarly, in structure, you can store data in a continuous memory locations. But in structure, we can combine different data types. Means structure is for heterogeneous data type, whereas array is for homogeneous data type. In real life we have mixed type of information. Suppose we want to store some information of student. We want his or her name, age, branch to which student belongs, and gender. Here you can see the example on the slide. We have one student. Related to student we have four parts: name of the student, which is a string; age of the student, which is an integer; branch, whether A branch, B branch, C branch, so on, according to the coding scheme of the organization where student belongs to, that is a char data type. Or we can take it as a string: branch, computer science stream, electronic streams, mechanical stream, and so on. And gender, male or female, we can take it as character. So for us to store the information of student in real life, we need mixed type of information. We need string also, we need integer also, we need character also. Similarly, if we want to store the address of the student, we want to store the father's name, mother's name of the student, we can't use arrays data type. Why? Because in arrays we need to have a similar data type for each and everything, but student has information related to various data types. So structure is a user defined data type which allows us to combine data of various data types, means heterogeneous data. And in real life it is more useful because practically we deal with different data types at the same time. Struct. In structures, struct is the keyword which is used to define the structure. See on the see the slide to understand my words. In the example part, the first line mentioned is struct student. Struct is the keyword which is used to declare a structure, and here we have taken structure name as student. So complete new data type is struct student. Under this data type we will put curly braces, and in curly braces we will put all the members of this data type. We have taken four members. First member is char name 25. We are taking character array by the name of size 25. Second member we are taking int age, means to store the age of the student of integer data type. Then we are taking character array of 10 size for the name branch to store the branch of the student. And last member of this structure is gender, which is of char data type. So, and after that we will close the curly braces, and you can see and note that there is a semicolon in the closure after the closure curly braces. It is compulsory, it is a part of syntax of structure. So I am repeating again. Struct is the keyword which is used to define the structure. Then we will take some structure name. Here we have taken student. Then we will start the curly braces and end the last curly braces, closure curly braces, with the semicolon. And inside those curly braces we can take the various members or elements of the structure. We have taken 4 elements of different type. First is name, second is age, third is branch, fourth is gender. Inside these 4 members, 2 are of character array type, one is of integer type, and one is of char type. So here is a formal syntax for defining a structure. Struct tag means structure name. In the curly braces you will take the member variables of these structures, and so after closing curly braces you should have a semicolon, and between the semicolon and the closing curly braces you can take the structure variables. We will discuss with examples later on how to take the structure variables. So the new terminology you have learned till now for in the structures is struct keyword, which is used to declare a structure, and the members are known as structure members or structure elements. So there are 2 methods to declare the variables of a structure data type. Firstly, I will come to my basic example, int x. What do you mean by int x? Int is the data type and x is the variable. So int x is equals to 2 means you are assigning 2 value to the x variable of integer data type. Here we have created a new user defined data type. The data type name is struct student. So in the method 1 you can see we have created one structure by the name struct student and 4 members of that structure. Now we want to declare the variable of that data type like int x. So I am writing in method 1 struct student s1 comma s2. It means struct student is the data type and s1 and s2 are the 2 variables created of type struct student. And there is an alternative method which is less preferred, is declaring structure variables with the structure definition only. In this you will put, when you will define the struct student structure, in the closing curly braces, between the closing curly braces and the semicolon in the last you can put s1 and s2 variables. So these are the 2 methods of declaring the variables, but method 1 is more preferred over method 2. Now how to access the structure members? Let's come to the example only, then I will make you understand the bulleted point. In the second bulleted point of this slide, I have taken the example for structure initialization. Here we have taken the structure struct patient. So structure name is patient. We are using the struct keyword, then the curly braces, and under the curly braces we have taken 3 members, structure members. First is float height, second is int weight, third is int age, and then we are closing the curly braces and the semicolon. Now we are creating one variable of the structure. Struct patient is the data type, p1 is the variable, is equals to curly braces. We are assigning 3 values, 180.75, 73 and 23. So automatically 180.75 will go to height member, 73 will go to weight member, 23 will go to age member. These 3 are part of p1 variable, and under p1 there are 3 members, height, weight and age. In the blue box you can see we are creating alternative method is this is the direct initialization, 180 points in the curly braces shown below, 180.75 comma 73 comma 23, or we can use the blue box method like struct patient p1, then p1 has its own 3 members, height, weight and age. So we can use the dot operator. Please focus, dot operator is used, period operator, or it is known as member access operator, because all these are structures members, and to access these members we are using this period operator or dot operator. So p1 dot height is equals to 180.75, p1 dot weight is equals to 73, p1 dot age is equals to 23, and this method, the method shown in the blue box, is more preferred over the direct initialization in the coding. Again focus, again try to understand, this is very important point, that when we declare a structure, the first is struct keyword is used, then structure name is used, under curly braces you are defining various elements or members of the structures, and then you will define the variable name of that structure. Now how that variable consists of all the members of the structure. To assign the value we can use the dot operator, like p1 is the variable, and under this variable there are three elements, height, weight and age. So we are using dot operator, p1 dot height, p1 dot weight, p1 dot age, to access the members through p1. So I am reading the first bulleted point. Structure members can be accessed and assigned values in a number of ways. Structure member have no meaning individually without the structure. It means if I use simply one line, height is equals to 180.75, then it has no meaning, because it is not attached to any structure variable. Until we put some structure variable and dot operator, then only we can access the height, weight or age of the that member. Are you clear that dot operator is very important to access, because this will make the foundation for the further slides. Dot operator to access the members of the structure. Now this is the example program to make you understand the basic concept of structures. In this struct student is defined with four members, name, age, branch and gender. In the main function you are creating one variable of struct student type, struct student s1. Now you are assigning age, you want to assign value to the age member of s1, so you will use s1 dot age is equals to 18. You can see that if you write s1 is equals to 18, then s1 will get confused whether 18 will go to name, age, branch or gender. So we should assign the member name using dot operator to whom we want to assign that particular value. Now we want to use strcpy, we want to assign some name to the name member of that variable. So s1 dot name is equals to comma double quotes Viraj, means we are assigning Viraj string to s1 dot name. Then we are simply printing that name and age. So the output in the above blue box is shown, tentative output. In the below mentioned blue box you can see we can use the scanf function to take the value from the user. We are assigning directly in this program 18 and Viraj. We can use scanf function to take the name and the age from the user, then we can assign those values to the structure members, which will be more user friendly program. Now the topic is array of structures. We all know what is structure now. Structure is the continuous memory allocation for different data types at a like an array, but array is of homogeneous data type, structure is for heterogeneous data type. Now array of structure is means we want to create an array. Inside that array each member is of type structure. Just try to recall array of float, array of int. What is array of int? Array of int means we are creating one array in which each and every element is of int data type. What do you mean by array of float? It means we are creating one array where each and every element is of float data type. Now array of structure means we are creating an array where each and every element of the array is of structure data type. Let's see in the example mentioned here along with the diagram. Firstly, see the left part of the slide where example is mentioned struct car, means structure name is car. We are using the struct keyword. Now in the under the curly braces we are taking three members, make, model and year, means we want to take three members elements of the car. What is the making of the when is the making, what is the model and which is the year of the registration or something like that for the car. And then we are creating variable, we are creating array arr underscore car of struct car type. Struct car is the data type. We are creating one array arr underscore car and the size of the array we have taken 10. Now comes to the pictorial representation of this. ARR underscore car, air car is the size is 10. It means the first index will be 0, second subscript will be 1 and so on. So last subscript will be 9. Now at subscript 0 we have first structure and first structure will have its three members, make, model and value, which will be accessed using dot operator. As you can see, arr underscore car bracket 0 dot make, arr underscore car 0 dot model dot value. It means we are taking the array of structures and the first location of the array itself contains three parts, make, model and value. Second location of the array means first subscript itself contains under three parts, make, model and value, which will be accessed using dot operator. Try to understand this, read from the book, whichever example suits you. This is just a demonstration, this is not a compulsory example to consider. I am just trying to explain you the concepts through various examples. This is the example program to make you understand the array of structures. I will start from the left part of the slide. In the line number 1 and 2 are the header files. Then we are defining one macro, hash define max 2. It means we are defining one macro by the name max and the value of max is 2. Wherever in the complete code I will be using max word, it will automatically be replaced by integer number 2. This is known as macro. Now struct student. In the fifth line, struct student, I am trying to define the structure. It has three members, name, roll number and marks. Now in the 12th line, I am in the main function, I am declaring firstly an array of size max, so of type struct student. So the line number 14, struct student is the data type, arr underscore student is the array name and subscript size is max. Here max will be replaced by 2. 15th line we are taking a control variable int I. In 17th line I am just taking the for loop, means this many times the array we want to enter the values in the array. So see, air student has two locations, 0th location and first location, because the size is 2. Now for each location we have three members, name, roll number and marks. We will take one by one. For first 0th location, in the real life in the 19th point, there is no student number 0. So we are putting student number 1, because in arrays indexing start from 0, but the real layman person don't know whether array consists subscript starts from 0 or 1. We want to display, please enter the details of student number 1. So we are just showing I plus 1. Then we will take the name from the user and name will directly go to, see line number 22, scanf percentage s for the string, air student 0 dot name, means for the 0th location it will go to the name part of that member. And in the line number 25, your roll number, you want to take the roll number, scanf percentage d ampersand air student I will directly go to roll number. And again the marks, again for loop will execute for the second student and you will enter the three parts for the second student and those three parts will go to the name, roll number and marks. Now from line number 31 you are trying to display those values again using the for loop, and you are printing the values and using dot operator and array. So the output should be enter details of student 1, entering name, roll number, marks. Now you will enter details of student 2, name, roll number, marks. So I can say that there is an array. Each location of the array further consists of three parts: name, roll number and marks, which is the structure. If you are not able to get from this example, you can follow your book's example. This is just a demonstration I am again speaking. Don't get confused. Try to understand this presentation, then read the book, then again read the presentation, then read the book, and so on. Now initializing array of structures. Here we can directly assign, in the earlier example we are taking values from the user, which is the more user friendly approach. If we want to initialize the array of structures directly, you can see on the slide we are taking struct car, make, model, year. Now we are taking arr underscore car array name of that type struct car, and the size of the array is 2. So we have two locations, 0th location and first location. At 0th location we have further three parts: make, model, year. At first location we have further three parts: make, model, year. So for 0th location we are putting the values Audi TT 2016, and for first location we are putting the values Bentley Azure and 2002. You can see the curly braces structure which is followed to assign the values. Firstly, the first curly braces is for the entire structure, and within that structure, within that entire variable, we have two locations for two arrays. For complete array we have two locations. 0th location has three parts, Audi TT 2016, and first location of the array has three parts, Bentley Azure and 2002. Next is array as member of a structure in C. We have already used various arrays as members like name, float, marks. As you can see in this example on this slide, we have struct student. First member is name, that is also an array, character array. Second is simple integer roll number, and third is also an array of float data type which size 5. It means we want to take the marks of 5 subjects. If we are taking one variable student 1 of struct student type, so student 1 dot roll number, student 1 dot name, and student 1 dot marks will not work, because marks has further 0 1 2 3 4 locations. So we will use student 1 dot marks bracket 0, student 1 dot marks bracket 1, and so on. Next topic is nested structures in C. You all have done nested if else, nested loops. Means we are using one similar thing inside the other thing. If we are using if inside if, we are using for inside for, we are using while inside for. Means we are trying to use one structure inside the another structure. Till now we are taking structures. Structure is a collection of heterogeneous data type, and the examples we have discussed till now consist of all the elements: string, name, integer, float, character. But here we want one member as structure itself. Means structure contains one structure as its member. Let's see the syntax mentioned here. In the syntax left part of the slide, structure tag name underscore 1. This is our main structure. Under this structure tag name 1, we are creating various members: member 1, member 2, member 3, and so on, member n. But after member n, one member is structure tag name underscore 2, and this has its own further members, and structure has its own members. So tag name 2 this is the error that variable 1 var1 I have declared the variable of tag name 2, semicolon should come after that and not comma before that. This is a typing error, you can well relate to it. I am again repeating, tag name 1 is the first structure and in which I am defining all the members, and under tag name 1, one member name is structure tag name 2. I have defined that structure and its variable is var1, and var2 is the variable of tag name 1. Now in the blue box, try to relate how to access the members of the inner structure. Outer structure is tag name 1 and inner structure is tag name 2. If I am creating variable 2 of tag name 1, var2 dot member 1, var2 dot member 2, but if I want to access the member of tag name 2, firstly I will go to var2, then dot var1 which is the inner structure, then member 1 of tag name 2. So to reach the members of the tag name 2, we need to use the double dot operator. Firstly var2 dot, then var1 dot, then the members of inner structure. In this we will consider one example to understand this. We are taking one struct student which is our outer structure, then the inner structure is struct person where all the members are defined, and one variable p is defined of struct person, and roll number and marks are the members of outer structure student, and stu is the variable name of struct student. Now I want to access the name, age and DOB of person structure. So how to reach that name, age and DOB? Firstly I will type stu dot directly I can use stu dot roll number, stu dot marks, but I can't use directly stu dot name, stu dot age, stu dot DOB because those belong to struct person, and the method to reach those members is through variable p. So I am writing stu dot p dot then name, stu dot p dot then age, stu dot p dot then DOB. So in this way you can go to the inner structure. Here we have defined the inner structure inside the outer structure. Otherwise you can define the inner structure above the outer structure. In your books though these two methods of defining the nested structures is given in your book. Like struct person you can define above the struct student, and you can use the variable of struct person inside your outer main structure. Now if I want to initialize directly without taking the values from the user on the while executing the program, that is initializing nested structure. Let's see, here we are declaring person structure outside the main structure, outer structure. Here struct person is defined, struct student. In struct student 3 members are there. First is of type struct person info, roll number and float marks of type array and size 10. So I want to assign the values to the variable of struct student. So firstly we will create one variable struct student, student 1 is the variable. Now I want to assign the values. In the curly braces I should assign the values to the 3 members of the student, but the first member of the student is itself a structure of type person. So under curly braces the first value will consist of further 3 parts: Adam, 25 and 1990. Adam will go to name, 25 will go to age and 1990 will go to DOB of type of variable info. Then 101 will go to roll number and 90 will go to marks. Structure with pointers. We all know pointers. Pointer is a type to hold the address of the variable of which pointer is a type. So when we use pointers with structures topic, we will be using an arrow operator. You can see the first two lines. To access the members of the structure using pointers, we use the arrow operator. Directly, if we want to access the members, we have used which operator? Dot operator. But here, if we are using pointer, we will be using arrow operator. See, as you can see the underlined part, arrow operator. This arrow is not available directly on your keyboard keys. You need to use two keys from your keyboard to type this arrow operator, hyphen and greater than sign, then this symbol will be created. Now in the example mentioned, hash stdio.h struct person, you are creating one structure and two members, age and weight. In the main part, you are creating struct person is the data type. Struct person, you are creating two members. First member is the pointer person ptr of type struct person. Second member is person1 of type struct person. In the person ptr, which is a pointer, it can hold the address of any member of type struct person. So person1 is the variable whose address we are assigning to person ptr. Now we want to take age and weight of the person1, but we will not use dot operator through in the method like person1 dot age, person1 dot weight. We will be using person ptr pointer to go reach age and weight. We are taking this scanf, using this scanf function to take the values from the user, but in scanf you can see we are using person ptr arrow sign age. It means the value given by the user at the runtime will be assigned to the age member of the structure through the person ptr pointer. If we used person1, then we will be writing ampersand person1 dot age, but we are using person ptr, so ampersand person ptr arrow sign then age. Similarly, weight sign, and we are printing the values. So in the nutshell, I can say you, if we are using these simple variables, then we will be using dot operator. If we are using pointer to a structure, then we will be using arrow operator. These are the two links from where I have taken the examples for this presentation. You can visit these links also directly, but this presentation is sufficient to understand the arrays chapter, and you can read the material from your book and create your practical work, prepare your practical work, and I will assign you some written questions also. Also, I want to tell one point that you can see the back exercise questions, solved questions from your book only. The questions mentioned in your books in the back side of this chapter are also very important. For each and every chapter you can consider that. Thank you.